Ooh. Hey, that looks correct. Oh my god. It's worked. Ha-ha! Welcome along, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How the devil are you all? Happy Wednesday. Sweet. Sweet for it's a Wednesday. Hump day, as it's affectionately known, no doubt. How the devil are you all? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome along. Lainey! How you doing, lady? Welcome along. Solo Spirits here, TikTok SC as well. JD, what's up, dude? Adam Rigoli. James King Jr., what up, man? Welcome along, dude. John Emmanuel, well, what's up? What's up? How the devil are you all? Welcome along. I know, impromptu stream. Didn't do one last week, wasn't feeling well, but back now. Okay, moving on. How are we? I don't know what's going on, but we're doing stuff. I'm just gonna press some buttons. Bear with. Button pressing is commencing. Hey Papa, what's up, dude? Welcome along. Okay, so we're back with the community build challenge thinging, and we're in this game again. Yeah. Empyrion, that's what it's called. Yeah, there we go. Ah, no. Look, it's still pretty. Can I give it to them? Yeah. Shafts. Good shafts. So what are we doing today? Well, we're covering we've got 3 categories left of the community build showcase. Now, these are the builds that were submitted for my last series of Empyrion Galactic Survival. These are the builds that were voted for me to use. And these are the ones that were unfortunately unsuccessful. I know, Baba, right? Sorry that you weren't feeling well. Glad you're doing better. Yeah, all good, all good, all good. These things happen. It's that time of the year, my friend. It's that time of the year. It's going around. So many people got horrible colds and flus, and ugh, it's horrible. Hey, John, I'm doing good, mate. Doing good. I hope you are as well. Total Gal, welcome along. He's back alive from men illness. Men illness. Yeah. Take it easy, Papa. Thanks for popping in, though, yeah? Yeah, we got 3 categories. The 3 categories are the Auto Miner Administration Setup. Interesting. The Heavy Combat SV, of course. And the last one, of course, the coveted category. The Dreadnought. Oh, yes. The end game, absolute final boss vehicle, Dreadnought. Going to be going through all the Dreadnoughts that were submitted in the challenge. Of course, we know which one won that one, and it killed the game. So, yeah, there we go through those ones. All right. We're looking over beautiful views over Haven right now, but right behind me is our first category of builds. And this is the Auto Miner Administration Setup. Sounds pretty dry on the face of it, but it's an interesting concept because as you progress and march towards the end game of Empyrion, you need more and more and more and more resources in order to get the bigger, badder, better things in. So, you know, one of the things that I hate doing is traveling repeatedly over and over to mines or asteroids and mining them. So we get auto miners to do it, and then we set up a little infrastructure around them so that we can quickly reload them, unload them, reload them, refuel them, and off we go. So this is what the scope of this particular challenge was. I need a build or a couple of builds in order to allow me to easily manage my auto miners. I think I covered it for an episode or something like that, but it's not particularly interesting to show in the series. So once it was set up, I was like, this is what I'm going to be doing, and then proceeded to do a hell of a lot, almost all of it off camera, I think I did. Anyway, welcome along, everyone. Wimperman, what's up, dude? Loving the Empyrion 2.0 series. I'm glad you're looking at it. I'm having such a great time recording it and playing the game, and this might come as a bit of a disappointment. I don't mean it that way, but I've played hours of it off camera, just doing just routine stuff like trading or doing a bit of mining or bossing my ships around, or maybe bringing them all back in to update their weapons and things like that, just because it's so enjoyable. Just the gameplay loop on it is really enjoyable at the moment. So I'm glad you're liking it. I'm loving it too. It's awesome. Ooh, I missed 6 minutes of a live stream. I don't know. That's it. I'm gonna have to start from scratch now. Hey, Robert, what's up, dude? Welcome along. TikTok. Oi, TikTok. Oi, Spange, he says. What? Can't wait to get a copy of it. Yeah, Papa, come on. Get on with it. Right. Talking of getting on with it, shall we? So, once again, big thank you to all the builders that put together all these incredible builds that we're going to see today. The community as a whole did a fantastic job. And really, really outdid themselves with all the amazing builds and stuff like that. Right, so... I appreciate your comments on the Ivorian streams. Yeah, no worries, dude. Really wish I could toggle mining lasers on Ivorian. Wait, you can! What do you mean toggle them? You could just set them to a hotkey, 1 through to 9, or 0, I suppose, and then you turn them on with that hotkey. Hours of grind, how unexpected. Yeah, it is a very, 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 very grindy game. As you know, they always are, aren't they? Right. Okay, so the Autominer administration. There are some like this one that we're about to look at. This is the... Whoops-a-daisy. This is a miner silo base. Miner, spelled cleverly. Well done, Stu. And this is by Stubert. Thank you very much, Stubert. Very simply put, this is something you put over the top of an auto miner, and it both defends it and provides you with a teleport location to go and manage that auto miner. Pretty simple. Solar powered, as you can see. Nice cylindrical shape to it. It looks like a silo. Gotta say, nice work. Couple of turrets on the top there, and a few extra blocks on the bottom there so you can lower it into uneven terrain. Nice work, Stu. Inside then, it's got a hole in it. This is a bit where you lower it in to the ground. The auto miner sits in the middle of that hole, or as best as you can make it, and that way you're in here and you can do what you need to do. The only thing missing from that is like a force field or something to keep you safe from environmental hazards. Otherwise, very nice, very neat, very tidy. Got the furnace on the roof right above it. That's pretty cool. So you can literally just go from the auto miner straight to the furnace. I like that. Efficient, Stu. It's got a medical chamber, oxygen, a few luxuries to go with it. Oh my god, you've actually got a grow plot set up in here. That's, hey, you know, thorough. I like it. Thorough. Very good. Toilet and shower. A little bit of storage, solar capacitors, a grow light. Some room there for extra bits and bobs as well if you want. Oh, there's a nice little storage container. 320 volume, very nice. And of course, the all-important teleporter on a signal logic. And then what do we got up here is just little access up here to that upgrade area and the roof. There we go. Brilliant. Actually really, really nice. Very practical, very well thought out, I think, with upgrades in mind. Well done, Stu. Very nice. Thank you very much. The best thing about Ivorian series is there's so much more to come. Can't wait for all the exciting stuff. I know, right? We haven't even got into, like, the good stuff yet. It's amazing. Yeah, and you gotta think as well. The ships that I've been using so far is a frigate, the Catler, the little starter frigate, and a freighter. And I've just got a corvette. Alright, we've got to go through destroyer, cruiser, battleship, carrier. We got to build all those things yet. Yeah, we're flying around in a freighter at the moment. You know, that should give you a kind of sense of scale, I suppose. Anyway, moving right on, getting distracted by Ivorian because it's the hot topic right now. The IWC Auto Miner Base, the IWC Teleport Network by Kithran. So this is what the IWC kind of used. Kithran built this two-part solution here. This is actually a CV, and you sort of park this on the ground next to your auto miners. You can see it's got the landing struts and stuff like that. And then you've got this orbital satellite, because what Kithran found is that you can actually, although CVs are limited in where they can teleport, they can only teleport to the current sector. They can teleport to the orbiting sector, which is very useful because CVs don't get base attacks, right? So you could park that on the ground It won't get base attacks. It can defend itself, run on solar. It can then teleport to anything in orbit, which is much more limited than a base. A base can teleport anywhere, but then you've got to deal with the base attacks and stuff. So, very clever solution that Kitrin came up with. That, to be fair, I didn't find it. Someone else in IWC told me. Fair enough, Kip. I was giving you all the credit there, buddy. You didn't need to say that, but I appreciate that you did. Nice one. So, IWC. Let's just say the IWC then. Came up with this solution. So, park the CV on the ground, teleport to the orbiting space station. So, this is the CV. Nice big boarding ramp, force fields, and of course the all-important teleporter. Not on a signal logic though. So, yeah. And look at all the solar panels. There you go. Lots and lots of solar panels. And because even if they still work. They still work. They're a bit like the Avorian ones, really. They work regardless kind of where they are in the build. And then underneath it looks like we've got some storage and stuff like that buried in here. We've got an ammo, 16,000 ammo container, 320 KSU container there, another one there, and another 16,000 ammo there. So, yeah. Now this thing doesn't have what other CVs might have in that's in terms of thrusters. It has none. It doesn't have any thrusters. You spawn it right next to or on the deposit you want to manage, and then you just leave it there. Solar panel will do the rest. Jump on the teleporter, and that'll take you up to the orbiting satellite here, which is, again, they've gone a little bit ham with the old solar panels. These things are not designed to require any fuel whatsoever. You leave them and forget them. This is it. That is it. And there you go, is the base teleporter that can then get you the 60 light years or whatever we set it to. I can't remember now. So there we go. Hey, Iron Wolf, welcome along. Can perma run on the solar? Well, damn, there you go. There you go. Well, yeah, it doesn't need the signal logic. When you spawn a CV, you get the ambush attack, but that's it. Yeah, so once you've done the ambush attack, it's safe to go. So as long as you spawn it in with your main CV defending it, it can shoot down all the drones nice and easy. And there we go. Base attacks on starter planets, not an issue in deep space. Yeah, but if you're placing a base on a planet that has a Xerax drone base, you will get base attacks. Hey Rad, what's up, man? Welcome along. Very nice. James G. Jr. says, I thought Vermilion changed it so in Reforged CVs do get attacked because too many people are avoiding base attacks by building CV bases. Yeah, so he put in a one-time ambush attack. He put in a one-time ambush attack, and I think he's rethinking that for 1.7. I'm not sure what to, or in what way, but yeah. You will get like 2 or 3 drones rock up as soon as you spawn a CV. Kind of a surprise the first time, annoying the second, third, or fourth time, but by that time you should be spawning stuff in space anyway. So there we go. That's pretty much the entire build there. The only extra stuff is the solar capacitors in the ceilings and stuff, and O2. The only thing I would say is that this particular thing has no defense, but then, you know, that's what defense satellites are for, and we covered those last time. So that's the IWC teleport solution for auto miners. Very effective, very clever. Moving swiftly on. Thank you, IWC. Thank you very much, Kitrin, for submitting that, by the way. Next up, we've got I Don't Know because the power's run out. This is the teleport base by Maverick J69. Thank you, Maverick J. The power's run out because it is solar powered and it's not facing the sun. My fault, because the solar panels are on the top, of course. It's a base build, and I've spawned it in space like a muppet. But again, very simple, straightforward, single base solution. 5 turret defense. We've got the all-important teleporter in here. Bit of storage, 200,000, 168,000 ammo container. A few small constructors. I'm not sure what that's supposed to. That's it's a plate for the core. The solar capacitors is in there, and then you've got this big sort of garage kind of thing. When obviously that's where the auto miners go in there. So you have to kind of expose yourself to the elements if there are any. But he's put a nice little yellow line around the bottom of this to show where you lower it into the ground, which is nice. It's a good touch. Otherwise, yeah, very simple, very basic, but effective. It's a base. You put over an auto miner, and it's got a teleporter in it. No shields though, so if you're landing on a planet with a heavy drone activity or tough enemies or whatever, this might suffer a little bit without those shields or maybe some extra guns. But Maverick J, dude, thank you very much. Very simple, effective build. Straight to the point. Very nice. Alright. Inmora, what's up, man? Been a while. I blame you. Saw the fun had in Ivorian, so bought it and cannot stop playing. You're welcome, buddy. Welcome to Ivorian. Oh yeah, this is what happens. This is what happens. Ivorian happens, dude. It is a good game. It is a good game. Solid 4X kind of, but with build your own ships built in there. So next up, yeah, we got the Teleport and ATMC mobile defense, and this is by Attack. And then this is another two-part solution. What we have at the bottom part here, I think is... Well, I thought this was the orbital bit, because that is a base, right? Just a teleport, shower, oxygen thing, and that's about it. But it's kind of like... This looks like it's supposed to be lowered underground. And then that bit sits on the surface. And then you've got the CV element here, which I thought was going down on the ground. See, I think what you do is you dock this bit to the bottom of that. Yeah. And then you take this around, you drop it off in orbit wherever you need to drop it off to. And then you land this down on the planet. And this is quite an interesting one because it's a vertically aligned build, right? So you would think to fly it like nose first. And then you see the orientation of the cockpit there, you just saw. And that's forward. That's not forward. So it's quite interesting. So you don't really see it very often in Empyrion. You have these vertically aligned kind of CVs. But that's, yeah, pretty straightforward as well. I actually quite like the rocket shape of it. You got the solar panels on all sides, so they're only going to be somewhat effective depending on where you park it. And I still don't fully understand this bit, why it's so sort of half done on the bottom there. I don't know. But looks like a drop pod. I think the docking is right, but you have what goes where backwards. Oh, okay. So the CV is orbital. It doesn't matter. If you've got a base teleporter, you've got a base teleporter. But I suppose in this case, this is... Is this a base? It is a base. As soon as you pop this on a planet, though, it's going to start getting attacked, and with 2 sentry guns on it, it's not going to last very long. So, if I've got it around the wrong way, then it doesn't make much sense to me. But there we go. It's still quite a nice-looking build, and I'm sure explained to me, I'm sure I'd get it. But yeah, it seems that that would be weird on a planet, and that would be weird in orbit. Maybe that is just a dedicated transport for these little drop pods. The thing is, you drop this on a planet, right? And it's just going to land... It's going to fall over. It's going to fall over, isn't it? So, yeah, I don't know. But I'm sure there's an explanation to it. The teleport and the ATMC mobile defense. Mobile defense, so... Yeah. 2-part solution, though. I'd get it working. And then, of course, it was the categories 1. We all remember Kira Yamato submitted the mass relay station here. And like I said, I think I only featured it in one episode, but that was all it was needed, really, to explain this situation. And these things were just scattered all over the place on various planets right next to auto miners. They just named them what auto miner they were parked next to. They're quite funny, really, aren't they? They're kind of like my garden gnome thing, but in CV form. And yeah, they would sit next to the deposit, and then I'd teleport between them using the mass relays here. Pretty cool. Nice build, actually, by Kira. The elevators in the legs go up and into the base. Fly the CV. You've got a teleporter. I can add some fuel to this so it's not quite so... Ah, it's all green. Ah, good. And that's it. That's the entire CV, basically. And then you got the mass relay, which is obviously from Mass Effect. Is this the one from Mass Effect? I think it is, isn't it? This Pew Pew, or is it the Halo one? I can't remember. Hey, AC, what's up, man? If EGS and Empyrion got together, went out, had a few drinks, got a naughty, and had a baby, it would be the space adventure game of all time. That baby would fry every gaming computer on the planet. It would be an amazing game, right up to the point your system caught fire. Yeah. It is the Mass Effect one, yeah. Mass Effect! Yep. Yeah, it's a very cool design Kira did here. Really, really nice way of doing basically just a teleport. Because what do? You do a teleport base. You just basically a box with some solar panels around it and a teleporter. So I really like that Kira went out of his way to make something out of it. You know, costs a little bit more, of course, but it's fun. It's fun and it looks good. There we go. That's the mass relay, and I can't remember the name of this one. It was Precursor Golem. That was it. Precursor Golem. And that was the winner. And of course, thank you very much to all the builders submitting. To be honest, I would have probably gone with Stubert's minor solo base, because in my mind, I wouldn't have come up with the whole two-part thing. I would have just suffered through the base attacks, and I just plonked that over an auto miner, and that would have been me. I'd be very happy with that. So yeah, that's probably what I would have chosen. It's nice, simple, solar powered. I like the little solar racks. I think he's done well. There's piping, there's glowies. It's basically a giant pipe in itself. Furnace built in, which I think is clever. Very nice. So thank you, Stu. Thank you everybody for those. Very nice. Excellent work. Autominer administration solutions then. Yeah, the colour looks like the tape bot from Scrap Mechanic. Looks like a nutcracker. And he did well, those things. They fly as well. They fly around. It's very cool. Okay, next category is the... no, there they are. Is the Heavy Combat Svs. So, you know, Heavy Combat Svs, obviously the Rabican was the winner of that particular category, and this thing was an absolute phenomenal monster of an SV, wasn't it? It's it's so many engines on the damn thing. It really did tear things apart. We took this down on a plasma planet and made the plasma planet cry with an SV. It was pretty good. Only let down really by the whole multiplayer lag thing, really, that just sort of causes all sorts of bloody problems with the projectiles and stuff. But other than that, it was excellent machine. So here we go. We've got quite a few of these beasts to get through, but they're all amazing looking. We're going to start with the Harrow, and this is by NT. And already I'm seeing a lot of his style in here. NT is a builder I've really come to like his style over this little streaming series that I've done, where we featured all these builds. He's sort of entered a build into almost every category, and almost every time I've been pretty much blown away by his build abilities. Here is no exception, but the look at this thing is just awesome. It looks like it's straight out of the Alien films. Do you know what I mean? It looks awesome. Very, very cool. Lots of guns, lots of thrusters. Turrets everywhere. Turret. And that's on the bottom. turret on the back. So a lot of kind of like really rounded firing profile, which might have been game over, man. Game over. We're totally screwed, man. The only problem with this I can see is that maybe it's because its firing profile is like a 360, but its like frontal output might not be so great. But you've got the railguns there for snipies, a couple of plasmas, and bomb launchers. Ah, the old bomb launchers. I like this as well. This looks like a proper little torpedo or something. Like, goosh. It's really, really neat how you kind of like joined these components together using the wing blocks and stuff. Really gives it a nice touch. As always, the texturing symbol work is excellent. Interesting color choice as well. Khaki green, going for that true sort of US military look. Very nice. Lots of detail, lots of detail, lots of thrusters as well. Performance-wise, let's have a little look-see, shall we? Okay, first of all, we're over CPU by a considerable way. Wonder what's going on there. Is this a vanilla build? It may not be a Reforged boy. Now we can tell by the core systems added. It is a Reforged boy, but it's going to need auxiliary cores, which perhaps he left out on purpose, so that you could add them manually later. It's at 92,000 CPU of 60,000, which means in survival, it's going to have like an efficiency of 12, or something like that. However, in creative here, it's going to assume everything's running fine at 100% efficiency, so we can see at least 32 meters a second forward, 29 backwards, 21 left and right, a roll of 16, a yaw of 33, and a pitch of 27. Somewhat sluggish, but for a big honking SV like that, kind of not surprising, really. It's decent. It's decent enough. It's flyable. You will have to fly it kind of like how it looks, really, which I kind of like because it looks like a big honking SV, and I think it would fly like a big honking SV. Like, you know, yep. It's like flying a cargo ship. Look at the thrusters on this, though. Pretty cool. Kind of built to maybe tank the enemy rather than outmaneuver it. I don't know, but I should imagine in reality, in the world of Empyrion, you're probably going to have to rely on in-out guerrilla warfare. Get in, snipe, get out. Or high velocity bombing runs, but with only 2 bomb launchers, it's kind of like it's going to be a while. Those 2 plasma cannons, 6 railguns for sniping, a couple of GATs for sort of precision drone hunting or whatever. But the cockpit is very sort of forward. It's armored, so that's good. But it being so forward, it's going to be one of the first targets if you're taking fire from the front. Does it have an interior? I don't think it does. No. There you go. Quantum CPU locations. Oh, forgive me. It does have an interior. Sorry. That is very well hidden. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, he's got a shutter on the bottom. Look. Yeah. There you go. So you do have a second cockpit view embedded inside. Much safer. Behind a few blocks and the radar system, so a little bit less concern there. If you're in that cockpit, you're gonna get kind of roasted, but you know, an extra little safe one down here. Very nice. Quantum storage, CPUs, awesome. Warp drive as well, fully capable SV. This, yeah. Nice bird. Very nice bird. Very cool. Thank you, NT. As always, very nicely done, sir. Looks like a converted vessel from the Scavenger Alliance. Yeah. Yeah, it could. It could. I could put the scavenger paint job on that, and it would look right at home, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's the Harrow Re-E by NT. Thank you very much, NT. Awesome stuff. All right, next up we got the Panther Elite Fighter, and this is by the Jupiter Vessel Corporation. Thank you very much, Jupiter Vessel Corporation, for the Panther. Very simple little craft. This looked quite cheap and light and fuck. Oh, holy moly! And then you look underneath. Holy cow, that's a lot of plasma. Wow. Wow. Heavy laser, heavy laser, heavy laser. And all of the plasma. Oh, there's heavy lasers there as well. Heavy lasers on the sides, turrets, heavy plasmas in the middle there. Ha 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 ha. That is gonna roast shields and then everything else underneath it. Wow. Big honky improved jet thrusters. This thing is gonna move like lightning and then just like get in and go blat blat and get out. Like a couple of volleys from this thing are gonna just cause absolute mayhem. Fair play. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, that's a good little tag. It's a bit floaty, but, you know, very nice. Like that. Got its own little symbol. Little branding. Armored. Good. That's a lot of plasma. Core right behind the cockpit, though. Whew. I tell you, though, that sometimes this is a good move, because if the cockpit goes, then the core's right behind it. The rest of the ship isn't going to die. Get blown up. Because as soon as the core goes, enemy guns stop shooting, doesn't it? So, if you got all your expensive stuff, like your auxiliary cores back here, well out of the way. Although they're right next to generators, so, you know, plop, pop, pop. The whole thing's going to go up fairly quickly if it's hit by a certain heavy hitting round. But this is very much a shield fighter, isn't it? Very much just get in, get out, do that damage. It's nice. It's very sleek, very fast, I bet. Let's have a look at the stats. 45 meters a second forwards, 20 backwards, 11 left and right, with a 46-degree roll, a 50 yaw, and a 65 pitch. Quite impressive. Very impressive, actually. 45 meters a second. It's not as quick as I thought it was going to be. It's within CPU, though. 50,000 of 60. I thought it was going to be like 100 something forward, but much more maneuverable. Decent roll. That pitch is beautiful. That's heavy lasers as well, so that's the upgraded laser cannons that you get with Project Eden and Reforged Eden. That was a nice turn. Yeah, it's nice. Maneuvers very nicely. And it's quick enough to deal with it, I think. How many plasma cannons has it got? Let's have a little gooseberry. Ungrouped. Let's auto group that. 23. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 23. Take away 9. 14 plasma cannons. 14 plasma cannons. Blammo. Blammo, blammo, blammo. Oof. That is gonna hurt in the morning, that is. Where's Dakotas when you need him? The man's got to have a day off sometimes. We're not overly interested in what these things can lift. Well, I mean, I'm not, to be honest, but I mean, if you really want to know, it says there, unlimited lift. It's unlimited. Awesome stuff. That is the Panther Elite Fighter RE, and that is by the Jupiter Vessel Corporation. Thank you very much, dudes. Jupiter Vessel Corporation. That is a decent beast. What a monster. That thing, just, yeah, that's going to tear it up. That is going to tear it up with 14 plasmas. Down go the shields with those heavy lasers. Down goes whatever else with those plasmas. In, out. Get out before those shields go down, because there's no armor on that thing. So, thank you very much, Jupiter Vessel Corporation. Awesome stuff. Hey, Syntax, what's up, dude? Maliki. Use 14 plasma cannon rounds on a single Xerax ground trooper. Yeah, that's that'll do it. That'll do it. Alright, next up then, we have got something run out of power. Let me just give it some juice. Here we go. We got the SETI 2 Arf by Mubear. Arf. Mubear has created what I can only describe as a series of engines surrounded by blocks. Look at that. There's a lot of engines. A lot of plasma cannons. A lot of more plasma cannons. And if that wasn't enough, there's even more plasma cannons. Holy plasma, Batman. That is a lot of plasma. There's just so many engines in this thing. Really cool shape. I like the overall shape of it. It's quite unique. I don't even know what to sort of approximate that to. It almost looks a little like a butterfly, but kind of squished. Wow. He's got some piping, decent texturing, interesting color palette. Good use of block shaping as well around these engines. I really like this setup he's got going on here. It's very nice. Forward pipes, extra armor, very nice. Just that plasma firing profile is just, whew, holy moly, that's gonna lift some as well. Wow. Like, see what Mubear did here? He put all the engines in and then built the ship around it. Inside then, all the quantums and auxiliaries. Shield. No messing interior, this. Absolutely no messing. Alright. So it's an SV tank. Yeah, man. Hey, Poodle. One single Xerax CV rocket when your shields are down and you lose all that orcs and quantums. I know. That's what you don't want to be in and around when the shields are down. You just get out. The cost of 14 plasma cannon rounds, though. Yeah. Hope it's got the ammo capacity to take it. Let's have a look at the stats on this bad boy then. So it's CPU wise, it's on the edge, 59,635 and 60,000. 60,000 obviously being a couple of auxiliaries in there. Statistics after a couple of auxiliaries, I should say, because they reduce, don't they? They don't add on, they reduce. 79 meters a second forward, 79 meters a second backwards, 51 left and right, 71 up, 57 down with a roll of 37, a yaw of 45, and a pitch of 94. Get ready, because this thing's about to move. Oh, and it's gonna move. It moves. Oh, it's fast. It's like a little bee. It's just off. Every direction is just like instant acceleration. Left, right, up, down, forward, backwards. That is a maneuverable beast. The pitch is kind of like, the roll is a bit sluggish, but that pitch is beautiful. You roll it onto its side and then you just pitch up and it's just like, meow. Very nice. That is an engine. What that is a rocket ship. Damn. Holy moly. What a monster. to SETI 2 Arf. By Moobear. Moobear, thank you very much. That's an awesome build, dude. Really, really nice. So much engine. So much plasma. Oh, the bloody plasma turrets on this thing. You know it's gonna hurt. Whatever it's shooting at. I tell you, you fly that just sort of headlong over the top of a target, rotate, and then reverse out. You could do it. You just like fly along, over the top, rotate, and just let the plasmas do their work. Get out before the shields drop. Because I don't think there's a huge amount of armor on this thing. It's made out of standard steel blocks by the look of it. Yep. So standard steel, shield fighter. And you got all your really expensive stuff at the front there, Moo. Wow. That's ballsy. That is ballsy. Whew. I'd maybe move that back a little bit, but yeah. Very nice. SETI 2 Arf by Moobear. Thank you very much, Moobear. Awesome work, dude. How many Orcs cores? A lot. Yes. Raccoona. Raccoona! How the devil are you, Mr. Raccoona dude, sir, person? That many. What's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 auxiliary CPUs. Isn't that the limit? You're allowed maximum of 10, aren't you? There's 1,000 drone parts went into building this. Just don't get hit. Yeah, pretty much. But then just don't get hit is kind of the theme of Combat Svs, really. They're a bit light and fluffy. But yeah, there we go. Okay, next up we got the Joker. And this is by Defender 1. And this is like compared to the other ones we've seen so far, probably the smallest and lightest of the selection here. But you got big honky engines on the outside here, and a couple of jets on the middle. It's a nice shape, it's sleek. You got upgrade spots on the top there. Yeah, upgrade spots on the top for turrets, and then you got bomb launchers. Ah, it's a bomber. Bomb launchers and railguns. Wow, okay, so interesting. The strategy in this one will very much be get in, fire some bombs, get out, come back when the shields are down, and pop turrets off one by one with the railguns. Blink, pop, blink, pop. You can upgrade with some turret points, though, by the looks of it. So that'll help with a bit of casual firing as you go over the target. I like the shape of it. Overall, it just looks nice. It's clean. It's a decent looking bomber, actually. This sort of thing looks like it would be mass produced, you know? Like a kind of cheap, effective bomber craft. Would come in. You'd have like a dozen of these in a carrier and they'd just go out and bomb the living bejesus out of something. Pretty cheap to replace, and off you go. Yeah, that's limit. I thought that was Bravado. Hey, Boobo, what's up, man? Poodle, what's up? Welcome along. Could do with a bit more fuel tanks. Yeah, I thought that about Moose as well. It was like 2 hours of fuel, but 2 hours of fuel in an SV that's not going to be far away from its mothership isn't too bad. For these combat SVs, you should try to show how much firepower they have and how much damage they can do against a target. No idea how, though. Well, you'd have to fire up a single-player game, I think, and spawn them in a survival game and then pick a target. You can regenerate that target and stuff. I'm just not set up to do that at the moment. But yes, I mean, you could say that about all the builds that we showcased. We should showcase them all, but we just don't have. I just don't have that kind of time to go through it. If I did it for the combat SVs, then why wouldn't I do it for the tanks or the battleships and so on and so forth? So it is just a kind of like a lukey at the moment, and I do apologize for that. But otherwise, we would be here for just. We'd be 3 hours every category, you know. It's just not wholly practical at this point. But no, I do appreciate that it's difficult to know what each thing is capable of, really. Looking forward to the weekend, Raccoona. Nice work, dude. Weekends don't really exist for me anymore. They're just kind of more days. Reminds me of the bombers from Homeworld series. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like, you know, it's a proper little sci-fi ship, so nice work. Okay, statistics then. CPU on the nose of 57,000. We've got 102 meters a second forward. That's more what I was thinking these other ones would be like crazy quick forward. 25 left and right, 36 backwards, 33 down and 59 up, with a roll of 41, a yaw of 79 and a pitch of 56. Core systems, one small auxiliary core, coupled with the max of the other basics and advanced and stuff like that. So this is definitely the cheapest of the ones we've seen so far. It doesn't have an exterior cockpit, it's got an interior only. Interior is nice though, well equipped. There's that little auxiliary, a couple of fridges, shields, room for extra bits if you need them, trauma station, bit of storage, bit of LCD work going on here. Oh, I like that. Look at that detector. It's kind of curved over. He's done well there. I like that. Alright then, let's give it a spin. So really, really quick off the line. Oh, that turn as well. That's nice. Oh, hey Moo Bear. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That was just bad piloting on my part. Not the ship. That's just me. But yeah, that corkscrew is nice. Flies very nice, actually. It's probably my favourite flyer out of all of them, actually, so far. That is swift. The extra power from those forward thrusters means that when you turn the ship, it really is responsive to the new direction. There's no drift lag. It just turns and you're done and you're moving in that direction and you can move on. It's good, and that pitch and yaw is good enough that you can really move very nicely. Very good flyer. My only concern is it's going to be a little too twitchy, but actually in gravity I think it would be easier to maneuver, or a little bit calmer to deal with. In space here it's a little bit like an excited puppy. The Joker then, quite a nice little turn, quite a little show from the smallest I think so far. Well, maybe the Panther is a little bit smaller, actually, I'm not sure. But cost-wise, probably the cheapest with just that one small auxiliary core in there. 4 bomb launchers, 6 railguns then. You'd have to be very comfortable with the strategy of this one. Like I said, you do hit and runs with targets, shields are down. And those hit and runs in themselves are going to be dangerous enough, depending on what you're hitting and whether it's got backup, you know. Shields can't necessarily protect you from everything, and with ships like this, without shields they're almost done for. So the Joker though, very, very nice, really good flying capabilities. Not much else going for it in terms of sort of armor and armament. Pretty light on both those categories, but very, very quick, very agile, very maneuverable, small and cheap. And that's the Joker by Defender1. Defender1, thank you very much for that build. Awesome stuff, dude. Well done. Such an agile little ship. Yeah, right, Red One. That's exactly. Good thing no collision physics. Oh, God, you saw that, did you? Yeah. My first space game was Asteroids. Damn, I suppose you're correct, yeah. She's very agile and fast, and she isn't loaded with ammo, so the twitchy will be less. That's very true. Chatrona's first space game was Star Fox. Oh, now that's going back some. I mean, not as much as Asteroids, I suppose, but yeah. Star Fox was awesome, man. Skadrick, I'm late, can you start over? Raccoon says, if it has pew-pews and boom-booms, I'd fly it. Raccoon, I love his pew-pew and boom-booms. Alright, moving on then. Next up we got the LPB MX-15. And this is a ye olde J. Randall build, I think, isn't it? Give it some juice. Give it some juice, yep. The LBP, I presume is some kind of prefix of the modification. MX-15X, submitted by Maverick J69, originally built, of course, by the man, the wonder, the god among humans himself, known as J. Randall. Except he missed a bit. Look at that. What? That is just garbage. I mean, I thought this guy was good, and he does crap like that. I think this is quite an old build of his. I don't think it's a young one, and I think it's probably been modified quite heavily by Maverick, perhaps. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, you could tell just like these heavy glass, not even heavy glass, these armored windows on the front here are just very ancient. I don't think anybody uses those anymore on SVs, not since armored cockpits were introduced. But you've got obviously a top one here as well. Turrets everywhere. Lots of GAT turrets. They're all weirdly facing backwards, some of these, I don't know. And some of them are forwards. But yeah, you've got homing rocket launchers. All of these. Guided missiles. Guided missiles aren't bad. They're pretty good. And the guided factor is very, very useful. Especially if you need to keep moving and stuff. This is a big freaking bird, isn't it? It is a big bird. I would love to see your and J. Randall builds in Space Engineers after the upcoming Warfare. Warfare! There's a Warfare update coming, is there? Oh, Space Engineers. Ugh. We'll see. We'll see. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, what do you want me to say? Yeah, it's a J. Randall build. It's beautiful. It's really nice texturing, really good block shaping. It is a big build. Lots of thrusters everywhere. Inside then. Nice long ramp up. Long old ramp up. Oh, look at that. There's all the it's all the auxiliary cores. And that is a maximum of 10 as well. Straight away, we're maxed out. Access to the cockpit above. Couple of constructors. Lose them. Lose them. Why? Why? Don't need constructors on an SV. It's a waste of time. Storage. Yep. All the usual bits and bobs that you would need. And then you've got this random ass cockpit just sat here in the middle of it. Just, I suppose this would be where the original kind of open cockpit would normally be, but what Maverick has done here is he's put an armored cockpit in its place. And then you've got these switches and stuff on the sides. As per usual sort of J. Randallness. Okay then. Statistics wise, 41 meters a second forward, 26 backwards, 29 left and right, 36 up, 26 down with a roll of 36, a yaw of 27 and a pitch of 31. It flies like it looks. Slow as all balls. CPU wise, it's at 59,924 of the 60,000 by using all of its auxiliary cores to do that. 10 small aux cores. Yep. Flies like a CV. Looks like a CV. Flies like a CV. I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. But after flying the Joker, it's kind of like, meh. Maybe that was the problem. I don't know. It's a massive tank of an SV. It's huge. But, you know, it's a tank of an SV, but could it actually take any shots? I suppose with this cockpit you'd be much better off than if you're in that one. Internally though, nice front-loaded fuel tanks and generators and stuff. There's a few block kind of redundancy going on the sides here. Pipes, thrusters. In the bottom front area here, yeah, there's a little bit. And then you're into fuel tanks and stuff fairly quickly. Once you get through these guns. Yeah. It'll take a few hits, okay, but it's a little bit more tankier, I suppose. It's probably made out of steel. Oh, forgive me, combat steel. Oh, it'll definitely take a few hits then. Yep, in that case it is the tankiest of them that we've had so far. Here we go. It'll probably take a few hits. Armaments wise, what did it have? We had the guided rocket launchers. It's got a couple of lasers up there as well. And up and above the engines there. As well as all the turrets. Gat turrets everywhere. There we go. It flies like it looks. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would probably just get rid of this whole front and just use that one. But yeah, you are. They're messing with the overall look of the build, I guess. I don't know. But thank you very much, Maverick J, for submitting the MX-15X by J Randall. As always, pretty good looking beast. All right. Next up, then, we got the Apache Mark II Reforged, which requires some extra juice, and that is by Curious Mind. Thank you very much, Curious Mind, or Dadrick. Dadrick is the creator. Curious Mind, it may be the same person, maybe he submitted it on behalf of Dadrick, I don't know. But yeah, you've got some guns on this thing. I really like in the overall look of it. I can see why you called it Apache. It's pretty cool. Really nice shape. Looks like the ship out of G-Force. G-Police. G-Police, not G-Force. Put it in the pink zone. You right there, Laney? You okay? Is that the Laney giggity? Giggity. Giggle. Looks even more like the dropship from Aliens. Well, I don't know, the dropship from Aliens had a more kind of like squarey look to it with a knobbly bit out the front, and then the wings went all wabbity. The wabbity wings. Eating Subway. Been lurking. It's good to have you, Laney. It's good to have you along. Alright, so yeah, this is a really nice looking build, isn't it? The squarey cockpit there kind of fits on this thing quite nicely. You've got some lipping going on with the block shaping. It's limited, unfortunately. They give you these funky shaped cockpits, but not the funky shaped blocks to go with them. So they all just look like they're just plumbed in on the top of something. Is it me, or do these railguns just look massive? They're just huge compared to everything else. I don't know. But armaments wise, you've got a smorgasbord of weaponry to choose from. Plasma cannons, I suppose, like the true Apaches of today, maybe, you know. Plasma cannons, GATs, guided missile launchers, more plasma cannons, railguns, not to mention the heavy laser turrets on the top here. Yeah, I'm surprised there isn't like a couple of GAT cannons in the nose as well. Or even just one. It's a very nice looking build. Oh, and you've got the little side entrance doors here, look. Oh, look at that. Smexy. 3.5k cargo. Very colourful bits. There's your auxiliary cores. 2 auxiliaries by the look of it. Warp core. Shield generator will be somewhere, I guess. Exterior lights, let's have them on. And then access to the cockpit from inside. I'm looking for that shield. There it is. Heavy shield. Big old lift thruster there. It's only got like... It's quite a small craft, so I'm hoping that the lack of thrusters on this thing is proportionate to the size of it, and it's still going to have quite good maneuverability and power and stuff. I'm a little bit worried. There are 2 mediums and 1 large jet as it's forward, and then I'm seeing very limited kind of lefty, righty, uppy, downy kind of stuff. Downy is particularly suffering there, isn't it? Alright, let's have a little look at the stats. Okay, so forward 42 meters a second, backwards 29, left and right is 24, with a lift of 32 and a down of 20, roll of 31, yaw of 37, a pitch of 40. It maneuvers about the same speed as J. Randall's brick over there. So it's a little disappointing and underwhelming on that front. I'll take it for a spin anyway. Yeah. It's almost a pilot motor, this one, with that yaw. Really turning it is like having to move your mouse through custard. It's not a bad roll once it gets going. But yeah, it's a little underwhelming, I gotta be honest. And the whole maneuverability front. You'd really want a good sort of strong up-down with something like this. With something with elevated gun mounts, like with the railguns there, you'd want to be using it to peek over the top of hills and terrain. But if you're peeking over, and you're peeking over with a lift that is like that and a down that's like that, it's risky. It's not bad, it's just a little risky. It's a little bit slow for my liking. But overall, very beautiful build. Very nice. And considering the difficulty of that shape, like that shape is not an easy shape to build around. You've managed to cram these thrusters in really, really nicely. Very, very nicely. Very effective. And from such a difficult shape to work with, you've managed to create a pretty decent Combat SV. Well done. Dadrick. These have been some exceptional ships. Give Laney explosives. We will test the armor of these ships. Yeah, but she'll test the armor of the ships from the inside. Guided rocket launchers, that must be her weapon of choice. Never give Laney explosives. It's so entertaining. Yeah, true. It is the most combat-looking ship, but I fear it's also with this very front cockpit here. It's probably the most explodey. I think it's probably the most explodey. It's going to go down very quickly. There's not a lot between it and, you know, explodey bits. And that's a consequence of the shape. If you really want something quite smexy looking like this, you have to pay for it with vulnerability, or, you know, in the case of this, vulnerability and some kind of performance compromises as well. I'm very familiar with that sort of thing. You know, compromising performance and survivability for looks. Who would do such a thing? Pshh. Pshh. That's a rookie move. The thing is, when you know how to use a craft and you know its limitations, what it can and can't do, then you can almost get away with anything, like when you put your mind to it. The Apache Mark II, then, by Curious Mind, built by Dadrick. I don't know if they're the same person. It's entirely possible, but I'll call them both out just to be safe. An exceptionally beautiful build, dude. Very, very pretty. It would have been an interesting challenge to use it. It really would have. And it would have looked good doing it, regardless. I think you could have done some extra shaping down here. This looks a bit kind of chunky, clunky, but there we go. Very nice. Very nice. Looks like a Space US Army combat ship. Exactly. It has that kind of like... It has a realistic look to it, where you can actually see it in reality. in the future. Very nice. Good build. We're going to move on then. Our last of our Combat Svs. Now, this one's a little bit cheeky. This is the Adept, and this is by WDC Knight. And the eagle-eyed among you may have already noticed the little cheekiness about this build. Now, how WDC Knight explains how this thing is legal is because actually it exists with CV weapons within the game already. This is not something that he built out of the blueprint library, but rather recovered from a floating debris. You see, Elion in Infinite Wisdom have managed to create some SV-sized CVs out in the wild as wreckages that still sport CV-mounted lasers and rocket launchers that can be cored with the intact lasers and rocket launchers and brought back to life as an SV. It's actually on the dead type planets. Ah, well, there you go. So it's not Elion then, it's Revian. I misunderstood what WDC Knight was saying then. He said it was a wrecked ship, and you can basically just pick it up and use it with its guns. There's also a CV that has a deconstructor before you could fit them. There you go. So it's a Revian. Revian! So the problem with this is that within the limitations of the series, I couldn't use this because I couldn't spawn it in. It would be red. I don't know if it comes up with Adept. I don't think it. Yeah, because he sent me the EPB file of it. That's how we got around a bit, because you can't publish this on the workshop. But anyway, the Adept here has got CV laser cannons and artillery cannons. Or maybe that's the small modulated pulse laser. Infrared. Is that CV or is that SV? I see that SV. Modulated. Oh yes, the modulated pulse lasers are the SV. The artillery cannons, however, then definitely CV. The problem with that is like CV artillery for those things weighs a bloody ton. They're massive. The artillery is what you have on the SV rec. Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate it. Good to know. Yeah, the ammo for that weighs a bloody ton, and they're massive, so cramming them into an SV is going to be tricky. Otherwise, it's a very good-looking boat. It's pretty slick. It looks like a bloody tank. It really does, like a little fast attack tank, speeder type thing. You got a couple of plasma turrets on the top there. Let's pop some fuel into it. There we go. Big chunky thrusters on the bottom. Look at that lift capacity there. Very nice. And then big honking forward thrusters that if I'm going to be honest, they look like they were forgotten and added on later. It's just sort of strapped to the bottom there. A little bit of reverse thrust, not very much by the look of it, which could get you in a bit of trouble. But then it is a light-ish build, so maybe it'll be okay. Some down thrust there, and we've already had a look at the lift thrust. Alright. Looks capable. Yeah. 59,262 over 58,000 CPU, so we're a little bit short. Ten auxiliary cores and 2 quantums. Oh my god. It's over CPU with 10 auxiliaries and 2 quantums. Also, that'll be the price of artillery cannons then. Between the two of them is 90,000 CPU for just those 2 artillery cannons. I'm not sure if it's worth it, Knight, to be honest, mate. Oh, really? Really, I don't know, really sure. Especially with, you can get a lot more damage out of the torpedo launchers. Than the artillery cannons, but there we go. Statistics then: 36 forward, 21 backwards, 21 left and right, 32 lift, 33 down, 50 degrees roll, 44 yaw, and 36 pitch. It's kind of sluggish in all directions, really, but the roll, yaw, and pitch isn't bad. I think it's just going to have a bit of a suffer from the old drift issue. But yeah, you can see it. It rolls reasonably nice. It's got decent speed. And then look. It does eventually go forwards. There we go. It does suffer a little bit of drift. But it's not too bad. The roll is really nice. The pitch and the yaw, sluggish, a little bit sluggish. The yaw not bad, I suppose. The pitch is not great. But it flies okay. Pretty good, better than some actually. I feel like you've pumped so much CPU into those artillery cannons. You've had to make sacrifices in so many other places. Is it worth it? I honestly don't know. Artillery cannons are pretty heavy hitting, but with the ammunition and the CPU cost, I think it's better to go with torpedo launchers. Although they are a pain in the ass to use. The Adept then. That's by WDC Knight, and I don't think you can get it, but as Kithren pointed out, they're on the dead planets. SVs with artillery cannons, so if you want to make your own SV with artillery cannons, you now know where to look. See how much artillery ammo it holds. Okay, let's have a look, shall we? 2 artillery cannons. We've got an ammunition controller with 18,000 in there. Let's get rid of a bunch of stuff here. It was 160 mil, isn't it? No, 375 mil artillery shell. $97 if you're not carrying anything else, but you've got plasma on here as well as the modulated lasers. I tell you what, it's probably them that weighs so much. Yeah, that's just it, isn't it? Plasmas, modulated lasers and plasma. So without carrying those, you got 97 rounds. So yeah, you get a good 45 shots. Can you fire them? I don't see why not. It should work fine. Yep. I mean, against another SV, we'll pick on J. Randall again. If I can actually hit the target. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Let's get rid of those. That might help. So, obviously bearing in mind it's an SV. It makes a bit of a hole. There was a cockpit there. That's why that hole's going to look a bit bigger. A little bit bigger. But against the CV, obviously you're going to not do so much damage, but... Well, we've got some CVs over here somewhere. Just for fun. We'll go and attack a CV. Hey, Daniel. Kind of a shame recoil isn't a thing. It would be funny if firing the RT caused the ship to stop moving forward completely or even move backwards. That'd be bad. Can you imagine the whiplash? There we go, here's some CVs then. Alright. Now these are the high G lifters. Who should we pick on today? Oh, I don't know. Carry on picking on J. Randall and take out the Carapace. Pick on me. I've got a vulture there. Oh. Damn it. See, selecting the correct weapon helps. What? Holy shit, that made a big hole. That is, of course, knowing exactly where to shoot the vulture for the absolute maximum possible damage. Holy moly. That is a one-shot, one-kill, my friend, that is. Oh, vulture. I can't remember what was here. It was all the generators. There were like 2 extra large generators there. That was it. Yeah, because the warp drive's here. I tell you, you want to kill the vulture in one hit, that's where you shoot it. Oh, bless it. See, I don't know the Carapace well enough to do a similar sort of thing. And I should imagine it's because it's so much bigger, it's probably more spread out. Where do you shoot it? Where do you shoot it? Oh, there's the warp drive. Right, behind the ramp. Helps to know your ships intimately, I tell you. I think I even got generators. I haven't found a single bloody generator in this thing so far. It's just like, no. J-Randall doesn't use generators, he uses pixie dust. How the frick is the generator, J. Randall? How do you do this? Oh, the dick. Where has he hidden them? I don't even know. Freaking great big holes in there. The extra thrusters. No generators. Ah, he's a master of hiding generators. Damn. Generators are in the hangar by the walls and the ceiling. Oh yeah, there it is. Give me some juice. There's a generator. Hiding out there. Is that the only one then? Sorry. Sorry. Right. So it's kind of like shoot it around about there-ish. Alright. Son of a bean. Yep. If you know where to shoot, it pretty much does it, doesn't it? Ouchies. And generator explosions, cool. That shut the ship down. So yeah, I suppose it's pretty good. But the thing is, a lot of the AI ships that you're going to be coming up against haven't got one single critically placed generator. They've got many. So yeah, I'm not 100% sold on the effectiveness of the Adept. However, it is cool nonetheless, and a really nice looking build. Thank you very much, WDC Knight. I hope you guys enjoyed the demonstration of an SV with CV artillery cannons. It's freaking maneuverable for a CV. So, it's got that going for it, at least anyway. Now, of course, that is all of our heavy combat SVs as submitted into the challenge. Thank you very much to all the builders. And of course the Ravikant run won this round. It's just overwhelming firepower and maneuverability. It really kind of
40 degrees roll, 72 yaw, 92 pitch, 61 forwards, backwards, 24 left and right, 89 lift with 22 down. Stunning freaking credentials, really. 10 orcs, 2, I can't remember, I built bloody thing, I can't remember. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 small orcs CPUs. Yep. And a lot of plasmas. What I really liked about the Rabican was just how quickly it just decimated something automatically. Those turrets, those heavy plasmas really do freaking hurt. They really do. So there we go. Combat Svs. Which one would I have gone for? Oof. Ooh, I don't know. A tricky one. Because I would have based it off of my Combat SV, which was the Mercury. Now, the Mercury was a great ship. Really, really good. But it was designed to pop over ridgelines. Boop, pop, boop, pop. It wasn't a run and gun. It wasn't a carpet bombing thing. It wasn't hit and run. It was boop bop. It was a boop bop ship. So, based on that playstyle, the boop boppiest, the boopy and the boppiest of them all would have probably been the Apache. Which is probably one of the worst performing ships there is here. But I would have probably have chosen this thing. Because I'm a lunatic. This thing would have been awesome, I think. The pure maneuverability and speed, flexibility of this thing, lightness, and the cheapness would have been really, really good. The Joker. Mubear's enormous SVCV, would have just decimated the battlefield. An SV tank. And this thing is just so much firepower in such a small little packet. But it's all on the bottom. When it's all underneath like that, it does kind of limit your firing arc sometimes. Especially if you're in third-person view. And Enties, well, I would have been afraid to fly this into combat because it's too pretty. I wouldn't want to smoosh its face. Also, I think it's slightly undergunned for what I would have used it for. So Mubear's, I think, in Joker's favourite out of the hindsight view of what I would have chosen. Probably Mubear's. But prior to the series, knowing my playstyle and what I built previously, it would have been the Apache. I would have chosen the Apache. Stupidly. I would have chosen the Apache. It's a beautiful build. It's really, really nice. And the boot bop kind of technique of these guns, peeking over ridgelines and dropping back down again. I would have probably modified it to have more down thrust. But in 3 Gs of gravity, that would have done it for me. It would have been fine. So, the Rabican here was an absolute monster. But I probably wouldn't have chosen it because I would have seen these exposed thrusters and just been like, that's a big no-no. Even after Artemis's video showing it absolutely making the Xerax cry, I would have probably gone exposed thrusters like that. That's just, what are you doing? I tell you, every series I do, I learn something new. I really do. So, here we go. Combat SVs, ladies and gents. Thank you very much again to the builders. Some incredible builds. Really, really well done by all of them. Fantastic work. I'd be interested to see which one of you guys would have gone with. Which one would you have chosen? That's a question I've not been asking this entire time. What's your favourites? Hey, Draconis, welcome along. How you doing, buddy? Sorry I'm late. All good, man. None of them. Vollinger with the damning review. Ouch. Right, you have to choose one of them. That's the game. That's what we're playing. None of them. Joker, says Steven. Joker's a good choice. What's this about, a Spanish voiceover? This Spanish voiceover would be epic for Xerax. It'd just be the Xerax walking along instead of going gurble, 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 and the other noises they would have gone, and they would have been like, right up the chuff. Sod off, mate. So, shut up. Mine, and only mine. So help me God. Alright. I'll have to make sure I submit some ships to you next time I'm being busy. Oh yeah, Raccoona. Hell yeah, dude. Fly upside down. Alright, cool. Combat Svs then. That leaves us one final category. This is the one you've all been waiting for. They're A10 compliant. Ouch. The final category, of course, the Dreadnaughts. Oh yeah. Still loading in, please stand by. So the Dreadnaughts category. This is the no hold bar. This is the do anything, go nuts category. And the whole idea of a Dreadnought is to basically just be the god of combat. The end of all things. The thick boys. The beasts that bring the pain. That take the pain, the beating, and dish it out all at the same time. And we all know which one won. The Dreadnought category is the biggest of this selection of ships here, looming over the rest of them, casting the biggest of shadows, the doom shadow of the Death Star, that is the Ender, by Mubear. This thing was so ridiculous that it crashed the game. It didn't just crash it, it just destroyed it completely, made it cry, go back to its mummy, and tell her that, you know, the Ender was picking on it and stuff like that. This thing was ridiculous. Coming up against two Tavira class Dreadnoughts, it would unleash a broadside bigger than the sun. It was an impressive machine to see in action at 2 frames per second, which is all you could use it at. It looks like a doom penis. Right, Skuldred. I don't think it looks like a penis at all. Skuldred obviously has got something on his mind. I've got to admire Mubear's sort of tenacity with this build, because it is just phenomenally massive. It must have taken him so long. He's clearly put a lot of effort into it, because the detailing, and it is distant detailing. You get up close and it kind of like wavers a bit, but given the scale of this thing, you can kind of forgive it, because the detailing around the entire thing is pretty impressive. And we've got some epic Ender music to go with it. That's right, ladies and gents. Everybody sit up and pay attention right now. Hell yeah. The Ender is in. Look at the turrets. Look at the turrets. It's just crazy. The ship really suffers, however, from not only the frame rate drop that happens when you try and move the damn thing in any direction that's not on the level plane, but it also suffers from turret stupidity. So what I found when engaging those Taviras was that all the turrets would fire on a single target. In one single broadside, they would all fire at one turret or one generator. And even though I had the turrets set up in different categories, I had the heavy hitters going for generators, I had the light hitters going for turrets, and they would all focus on one bloody target between them, which means you get this huge amount of destructive firepower, all raining in, all exploding, and all detonating over basically a little handful of blocks. So all that firepower, and the Tavira just soaks it up in one tiny little spot, and then the rest of it just carries on. Meanwhile, the Tavira's turrets are just... They just seem to be devastating everything. Among all the lack of frame rates in that battle, I could see that between two Taviras, this thing was getting its ass kicked. It really was. No fault of its own. It's all just the bad AI crap turrets. It has got crap load more firepower than the Tavira. Two of them, to be honest. But it's just... The game was never designed to fire off that many frickin' guns simultaneously, you know? It's just such a shame. Because it would really just end everything. What is the turret count? It's 206 plus 257. So 463 turrets in total. 463 turrets. Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's called the Ender. Draconis. Having Spanish voiceover as Xerax would be a great side main character for the game story or as an Easter egg. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Not going to lie, I may not get the thought of Taika Waititi's Korg from Thor Ragnarok out of my head. The revolution has begun. Korg is awesome. Okay, that's the Ender. That's what won. So, what was submitted and built for the challenge? Let's go through it. We've got a few ships here, and they are big boys. So, sit back, relax, make sure you got a beverage, because here we go. We are starting with the Soul Crusher 6000. The Soul Crusher 6000, right here. This is by Movado. I believe it's submitted and built by Movado. And this is a Xeno Warrior. Let's get a bit closer there. Yep, Movado. Soul Crusher 6000. Much materials to build. 53 quantum CPUs. That's probably the least of the quantum CPUs in the category. Great thing about this one is it's only size class 8. So it's good. As you can see, it's a little warty in the turret department. Staggered, stepped up turret mounts all the way up. Oh, damn guns. So this would make probably quite a reasonable PvP ship. You just skim out some of the bits that you don't need, add more guns onto it, and we could enter into Rakuna's PvP tournament. There you go. Except it's got 53 quantum CPUs. Yeah. It's a lot of Xeno. That is quite a funky build, though. You've got to admit, like all the different sections and parts of it going everywhere. And then on the top, you've just got all of these artillery guns lined up. One right next to the other, one right behind the other. Then the missile turrets. All the way down. More missiles. Then you're into plasmas. Artillery guns. More plasmas. More missiles. More missiles. And then spiky bits on the nose. That is a lot of firepower right there. And missiles and missiles and missiles and missiles and missiles. And that might even be heavy missile turrets. Holy crap. Heavy plasma turrets. Heavy plasmas. Cruise missiles. So they're not all just missile launchers. They're the reforged ones. Artillery cannons everywhere. Okay, right. Yeah, that thing's going to dish it out. That is really going to dish it out. But it's probably the smallest of the ones here. Inside, Hangar Bay. Many generators on the ceiling. So flashlight on. Not bad. All your sensitive bits. Fuel tanks, gravity. Pink. Pink with a side of pink. Upstairs, storage. This is the core and extensions. Down into the warp drive. Storage. 320k. 5 ammunition controllers, each at 320 as well. You got to fill them up pretty quickly, and they're going to run out pretty quickly. Only 5. Woo. The Ayamara had like 8, and I run out of that. Oh, I got constantly running out of ammo on that thing. Full medical upstairs. There's our quantums and a garden. 2+. Quantum storage. Room for more as well. Wow. That's double layered quantums. Holy moly. Up again. And we're onto the bridge. Is that the only bridge, or is there a combat bridge? Oh, that's the SV. I think that's the only bridge. Don't remember seeing anything else that might indicate like a combat bridge, unless there's one down in the hangar bay that I didn't see. Welcome to the Soul Crusher. 139 total heavy turrets, 21 manual fires, 7 advanced 4 large constructors, 21 total drive thrusters, a bastion shield, 18 grow plots, and 2 advanced constructors. The Soul Crusher is an agility-focused combat ship with a well-reinforced nose. It is intended to be a shield fighter. However, the entire front nose of the ship can be destroyed, and the ship will still function normally. However, all battles can be won taking no damage by avoiding incoming fire. During combat, keep the enemy in front of you at all times. To avoid most incoming fire, do upthrust and roll strategy using spacebar and either Q or E. Rocking back and forth between Q and E also works, but continue to upthrust the entire time. So it's a spinny Xeno warrior. Very familiar with those. But we had one of those, the Ayamara. It was very good at it, doing the spinny. And for the most part, it could avoid almost anything in return. Except the legacy. Kind of got a bit mangled by those guys. 65 degrees roll. Very impressive roll for a CV. Yeah, the SVs had less roll than that. 66 forward, 66 backwards, 34 left and right. Lift of 85, 1205 meganewtons of lift thrust. At 68 down. 39 yaw and 39 pitch. So, I tell you, that's faster and more maneuverable than some of the SVs that we were just looking at. So, yeah, I think that fits the shield fighter role very nicely. My only concern is that bloody cockpit. It would be good to have a second one, but it wouldn't be very difficult to add another cockpit somewhere, would it? So, we'll let it off for now. That is a lot of guns. Holy crap. There you go, Draconis is on it as well. He's in. Soul Crusher can lift an extra 113.7 kilotons in 1G, 16.4 in 4G, and 10.3 in 5G. Is this a tutorial about how to break a server? Yeah, pretty much. Even the guns have guns. From 60 to 10 FPS in one blast. Matt has a video of this thing living up to its name, and that it absolutely does. Nice, that's cool. I'd call it the gun clump. It is a clump of guns. Spange, not that this class of boat needs this, but the Soul Crusher can lift an additional lots. I saw you, Draconis. Don't worry, I got you, dude. In ammo requirements, I'd probably call this ship the Credit Drainer. Oh, yeah. It's going to drain your damn resources very quickly. But then, you know, there's no ship that doesn't, dude. There's no ship that doesn't just absolutely tank your resources just supplying ammo to get rid of those endgame freaking bastards. The thing is, a lot of people do complain about the endgame ships being overpowered, the Eradicators of the world, the Taveras and stuff like that. But it's like, you don't need to go and do it. You can do most of the missions and stuff, like the Dyson Sphere, without having to engage any of that stuff. Now, the Dyson Sphere is probably one of the toughest fights you can have, but you can do it without any auxiliaries or quantums if you designed your ship right or bring a friend or whatever. You don't have to take on any Taveras. You don't have to go after the Legacy at all. They're there for the people that really want to push themselves and push the edit, but there's so much to do in Reforged Eden. You really don't have to if you don't want to do it. Anyway, so that's the Soul Crusher 6000. That's by Movado. Movado, thank you very much. Awesome build. Very much a Xeno warrior there. Just look at the freaking the CPU on that. 12.5 million, everybody. Yep. 27,000 Restrum Zirconium. Much resources. I'm not going to spend too much time looking at the resources. These are Dreadnaughts. It doesn't really matter what they cost. It's all about the shablamo. And that Soul Crusher 6000 has much shablamo. Thank you again, Movado. Awesome. We're going to move on. Okay, next up, we have the DXI Ares. I stop pressing F6. Class. The Ares class Mark II. And this is by Dexter Clerks. Dexter Clerks. Thank you, Dexter. Appreciate you, dude. Size class 18. Like, double what the Soul Crusher was. Just pointing that out. 19,500 CPU. What? Holy moly. 19,399 CPU out of 19,500,000. Sorry. Let me get that right. There we go. Okay. Cores systems. Many quantums. No auxiliaries. All quantums. All quantums. So if you want that, you do have to actually farm the Legacy and the Chaviras, because that's the only way to get quantums. So there we go. This is cool looking, though. This is cool looking. You got a kind of like saucer section on the front, kind of Star Trek-y style. It's only 1 block thick. It's crazy. It is 1 block thick. You're going to get some holes through that fairly quickly. You got the top turrets and lower turrets, so all of those turrets are going to eat fire very quickly, but with only 1 block thick, once a turret has gone through, say, that laser, it hasn't got a lot of armor to eat through before it gets that laser and the ones underneath that, so it's quite surprising, only 1 block thick on that saucer section, but I suppose, again, it might just be that's the visual look he was going for over just lots and lots of armor. And that's just normal steel blocks. Wow, that's all going to evaporate very quickly then, isn't it? Structural ramps, Vermilion's 3x. These are all steel blocks. Looks like we've got some Xeno starting over there. Okay, fine. So we've got some artilleries, 3 artilleries sort of lined up on each other there. Missile turrets on the top, lots of various lasers and other things. I like the shaping. There's a bunch of hidden turrets here. Hang on, let me pop out. Drone defense, heavy combat, crafting and farm and repair. Everything. Turn it all on. Apart from shields. Yeah. That is a lot of firepower, actually. Look at these weapons. They just keep on going back and back and back, and they get even like more and more dense the further back we go. And then they're even out on the nacelles up here. Look at this. You got these beautiful engine nacelles with just more guns strapped to them. And down here as well, look. Rear guard, underneath and on top. Holy crap. There's a lot of guns on the underside as well. Wow. I would focus most of my guns on the top side, because when you're focusing down a single target, usually your ship is kind of sort of pointing down to the target here, so you get all the top front fire. Anything on the underside is kind of cut off, doesn't really shoot. But, I mean, playstyles vary, and I suppose that would be just an all-round frickin' machine. Wow. That's a lot of guns, folks. Hey, Marcus, welcome along, dude. Who put a ship on my guns? Yeah, it's the guns with ship attachments. That is a lot of firepower on that thing. Top and bottom. That is a surprise. It's a big boat. Looks awesome. I love these nacelles, these engine pods and stuff. Very nice. There you got the built-in solar panels as well into the slope. Nice, good. The artillery's kind of overlapping there, which is slightly irritating. Wow. Look at the engines on this. It's just so many engines that move this monster of a boat. Just covered in engines. Everywhere. Very nice. How the hell did you get in it? Alright, there's a door here. And we're in. So straight away, lots of armor lockers and stuff. Light storage. Some guards. We got, what? Some crew rooms and stuff to the left and the right. Yep. Same again. Yep. And then we're into quantum storage by the look of it. Holy boy. Holy boy. There's a lot of quantums. How many quantums? Yes. Yeah, 96. 96, take away the arbitrary core and extensions. That's how many quantums. Holy boy. That is a load of quantums. There's the core and everything else. Chaps. Got some decent texturing and lighting and stuff going on in here. Oh, we got a Hangar Bay. Oh. Hang on then. We got Dave and Dave. There's some storage. Both sides. Yep. Repair. For little SVs and stuff. Big empty room here, isn't it? Oh, we got guns. We got guns. And shield. Thank you, Saluz Decor. I recognize that LCD. Shield generator. 2 pentaxid tanks. The antimatter and the regular. And the warp drive. The advanced. Antimatter warp drive. Oh, crikey. That's included in the blueprint. Wow. I tell you, that's trusting, that is, putting an antimatter drive in the factory. You wouldn't catch me doing that. Nope. I would not trust the factory with an antimatter drive. I'm placing that myself, thank you. So that's nice. Got a medical. Got gardens on the other side. And then that goes back down to the quantum room. So this that's a dead end. We can go back then. Oh look, that isn't back, that's forward. Where did I bloody come from? Did I come from the elevators? Oh, was it here? Ah, it was here, look. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm getting turned around. So these are the side hangars. Hangars in the side of the ship there, look. Yeah. Go in. Take a right. And then you've got downstairs quantum storage. And then engineering, I suppose. And then you got the bridge. Battle bridge embedded in. Some nice LCD work. And then you're in. That thing is a ridiculous amount of guns on it. It's like, look at the size of it compared to the Soul Crusher. It's almost 3 times the size. Damn. Right, this thing has how many guns? $167. 167 turrets. I believe the Soul Crusher had 190, didn't it? Something like that? Where's T for turrets? Have I gone mad? Oh, he's separated them out. Look at this. Whoa, fancy boy. 10, 30, 60, 114, 15. Oh God. No, just breathe. 133, 41, 141, 140 odd turrets. $167. So it's got more guns than that, which you would expect for something with such a larger bloody footprint. Really like the Star Trek, Starfleet like shape. I love when ships like it would have been produced for real. I agree, actually. I really do agree. I'd love ships with roleplay value, basically. Either affectionate recreations with their own spin. This definitely has Star Trek kind of Starfleet qualities to it. I completely agree with the nacelles and the kind of sorcery section on the front here. Really, really nice. It definitely fits, I think, the description of Dreadnought. It really does. With that firepower. Holy moly. We need to turn all the turrets into sentry guns. What is with you and sentry guns? Oh my god, yeah, you farm just to kill one ship and then back to farming. I used to farm all week to kill a few ships on the weekend. Yeah, it gets like that. It gets like that. Took me 2 months to build up a small fleet of one big carrier, one miner, one cruiser CV, and a couple of SVs. How anyone gets 96 damn quantums? I got like 2 still farming. These ships aren't the aren't the work of one person, really. I think it's unrealistic. There are some people out there that are just machines and can do that, but these ships are really the product of factions on multiplayer servers. I don't think any one person could be expected to produce something like this, and you know, and that's a lot of the sort of late game content within Reforged Eden is also designed for faction play, not solo play. And like I said earlier, you don't need to do it. It's not there to like, you must complete it. If you don't want to do 3 years of farming to build one ship to get it blown to the living bejesus, because even something like that, some of the enemies out there will get blown to Jesus. You can't do it solo. It's not designed for it. So don't bother. Just do yourself a favor. Take it easy. Take it easy. That ship would get destroyed by Revion's Dreadnought. Well, yeah, exactly. You know, even with a Dreadnought, some things like the corrupted, I can't remember the name, Zen 1, the corrupted Zen 1 would just tear it apart. Doesn't matter. You need a fleet. You need a fleet for that sort of thing. Right, so that's 34 forward, 25 backwards, 25 left and right, with 25 lift, 1,880 meganewtons of lift thrust, 13 down, a roll of 12, a yaw of 11, and a pitch of 8. Kind of flies like it looks. Draconis, thank you very much. That can lift 19.8 kilotons in 2Gs. The damn thing weighs 76 kilotons, to put that into perspective, so not to be used in high gravity, but it is capable of self-lifting, so it's okay. Nice build. Dexter, thank you very much for the DXI Ares class Mark II. A very, very nice looking machine. Very heavily armed. And 90 or so quantums. Very nicely priced. It's a beast. Very nice work. Okay. Moving on then is my very own Rfo4 Valkyrie. This was submitted by Doc Martin. Thank you very much, Doc. It's a shame I never actually really got to use it within a series. It has been pretty much a sort of vanity project the entire time. Although I did put it through its paces in some test scenarios and stuff like that, so I know it definitely can blow the living bejesus out of a Tavera. Yeah, it's a shame it never really made it actually into a series itself. Most powerful ship I've ever built, by a long way. Modelled on the Asgard ships from Stargate series. It is not a recreation of one, it is simply just sort of inspired by. It's got a dual hull front, the split hull with laser cannons down the centre there, for quick dismantling of enemy shields. All the guns on the front section here, top and bottom, are mostly just there for decoy purposes. They will of course shoot and do some damage, but I'm not overly upset when they get destroyed, because that's what they're there to do. The armour stops, I think, around about that thruster there. After that, you get layers and layers and layers of more Xeno up to where the generators are in this bluey mass here. So you really want to be bugging out of battle once you start losing these top sort of turrets and these thrusters here. Hopefully whatever you're dealing with is dead long before then, because at the back here is the real powerhouse. You've got elevated turret struts here on the top and the bottom, with heavy turrets on the in and outside, heavy missiles, heavy plasmas, artillery, and you've got manual fire artilleries out on the wings here as well. So it should be delivering plenty of hurt, pretty much, with ease. 14 million CPU. Max turret count is 134. I don't think I've separated them off into separate ones, have I? No, I have not. So that's, yeah, 134 turrets with some laser cannons, multiple rocket launchers, and advanced artillery and artillery cannons to boot. So you got lots of manual fires to keep yourself occupied as well. The CPU on this thing, 12.3 million, and that has 70, well, there's about 65 quantum cores. I think I put it on the freaking thing, and it's something 60 something quantum cores, 63 I think it is. 63 quantums to run it. Size class 16. Expensive! Bloody expensive. And I stupidly put the antimatter and the bastion into the blueprint like a fool, but it is the complete package. There we go. I don't think I built it during a chilling and building, so I think I've done an episode on it. It's got a pretty much a Xeno shell exterior. Or it's no, sorry, other way around. It's got a steel shell exterior with a Xeno layer underneath it, or several Xeno layers depending on the location, and then where I can, a steel interior or plastic interior for everything else. So inside you've got quantum storages left and right around the core location, so you really don't want this area getting destroyed. Back here, engineering, warp core, generators, fuel tanks. I think you've got some Jeffries tube stuff going off to the sides here for ammo containers. I think it's got 6 320 ammo containers. Quick check. Yeah, 6 320 ammo containers, and then a bunch of normal containers as well. Both sides. Forward then, shields, constructors and stuff. Down into crew areas. So you've got like a canteen, meeting rooms and stuff. On the other side I think is quarters. Crew quarters. So this is all just like, this is in the part of the ship this could potentially get blown up, so it's all non-valuable stuff. Big honky generators. And then this just goes into storage. Storage. Lots of storage. Beyond this wall is Xeno, and lots of decoy generators. So however many layers of Xeno steel that is. And there we go. Oh, and the bridge, I suppose, is the other thing I didn't show you. Yoink. The bridge is here. With the little deck up above for like medical, food and stuff. That's it. The only thing that this thing doesn't really have is like a quick exit off the bridge. This is before my kind of revelation about sort of bridge side exits, really. So the only way out of the ship is to come all the way back down again, then down again into the hangar on the bottom. And it's a nice little well protected hangar as well, because it's sort of under a lip there. And there we go, there's the Valkyrie. It would have been a beast. I would have liked to use it, but that wasn't to be. And then, of course, we're all familiar with this one. The IWC did an amazing thing in the series just gone. They, in secret, built a Dreadnought and then gifted it to me during I don't know if it was during a live stream or I think it was a live stream, wasn't it? During a chilling and building as well, actually. They were like, hey, we got a present for you. And it was the Vigilance here, which is absolutely amazing, incredible. Really kind of humbling experience as well, actually, to have a bunch of guys build something for you. It's very nice of them. The Dreadnought me and my friends is working on is a beast. It surpassed the Revian's Dreadnought in terms of firepower. Damn. Send me the link, yeah. Speed is the real challenge on that. Managed to kill everything else in my trusty 2.1 million CV. Yep. Valkyrie can lift an additional 94.4 kilotons in 1G, or 86 in 4G. Don't even think about more than 1G. This is strictly a spacefaring vessel. Yeah, it literally is. It's not supposed to go on planet. Does it look like it's supposed to go on planets? EGS should offer ship insurance, which provides a reconstruction token that can be used in space stations similar to Empyrion. That would be awesome. That would be really, really cool. Yes, they should. They really should. Suggest it. Iron Balls McGinty says, vanity projects are for sure, lol. Yeah. And that's beyond anything in single player. I have never had to work so hard to get to early late game materials and ships in any other game in my life. The chance it will all get blown to hell stays very real. Yeah. Chad says, now that I'm addicted to Empyrion, Empyrion is lacking in almost everything except lag and features. Ouch! Damn! I think I also need some LCDs with the ship map. Oh yeah, that would be good. I suck at LCD stuff. It's a Jupiter station. Awesome. They didn't just gift it, they hijacked you and got everyone in to a lot of trouble, and it was great. Thanks, Wolf. It was awesome. It was incredible. And the Vigilance here is, I think, one of the biggest, other than the Ender, of course, that just surpasses everything in pure scale and ridiculous. But the Vigilance is one of the biggest ships here. It's just a massive meat shield, it really is. It is a huge honking meat shield. It has really good sort of all-round 360-degree firing support from every angle. But as it is at the moment, I think it's got one of the lowest turret counts. I could be wrong. He's mixed up the turrets in different categories, so this might be difficult. Turrets 54 plus 22 plus 30, about 100 so far. 6 cruise missiles, 16, about 24 total cruise missiles, and 26. Call it about 160 turrets thereabouts. 160 turrets is not bad, and it's actually more than the Valkyrie's got. They're just spread out over this huge hull, so it makes it look like there's less here than there actually is. It is a massive, massive boat, and it has a huge amount of armor everywhere. It's a beast. Vigilance is 60 to 8 frames per second, 1 south. I think our frames wasn't too bad. It was like 10, 12 frames, I think, when we took it out. I don't know. I can't remember now. But they even put in sort of extra space for the rasp and things like that to actually properly dock in here as well, which is really, really a nice touch. There's a very kind of shuttle hangar. It's a very personal build. It felt like. That goes up. Let's go along here first. Constructors and stuff. You got constructors in these little rooms and generators off to the sides. And everything's color coded as well. Yellow goes to engineering. Red goes to the bridge and stuff. Green goes to the other hangar bay. More constructors and stuff. Little Easter eggs everywhere, like blighted leak. Still cracks me up even now. It was good. And then they got the maintenance hangar. You can park something over that, and then you can flip this switch, and you get access underneath it. Really, really nice touch. Really cool. Little cranes and stuff like that. They definitely had fun. I think they definitely had fun building it, so don't feel too bad. Engineering. Lots of space for extra quantums, as you can see. You got the basic sort of CPUs and stuff in here. Warp drive and shield as well. Combat bridge is in there. We'll go to the canteen at the front of this ship. The Spotter's Nest. Which was great. Yeah, some wonderful work with LCDs and stuff. Gerald on the crab table. Live fire warning. Views out the front of the ship while it's firing. Lots of pipes. Someone definitely trying to bribe me, Owen. They definitely were, and they succeeded. Absolutely succeeded. So this goes down, I think, to the medical bay. Now I'm confused. Oh, this was just the naughty room or something, wasn't it? That was just the do anything you want room. That was it. Medical was off on its own little floor like that. Yeah, medical. Very strangely textured medical, but there we go. And then this was the bridge. It's huge. Huge room on the top of the ship. This great LCD stuff going on. All the crew. All the views. It was awesome. Toilet shower off. And there's the guys. Right there. There's a labour of love. Hey, Johnny! Just taking a quick breather from a hectic night at work. I'm sorry to hear, dude. Welcome to the stream, though. Just going through the Vigilance once more, as we go through the Dreadnoughts submitted for the series. The Vigilance was built by Battlestorm, Dargonis, Darsnar, Defender 1, Dark Isaac, Hitsuju, Ironwolf, JK, Merlin, Chaos, Outlaw, and Soridar. Thank you very much once again, guys. This will sit proudly in my blueprint library on a pedestal of awesome achievements. There is more rooms in there. There's some secret hidden rooms and stuff in there. Ah, screw it. I'll show you. It'll be a shame because they obviously put a lot of effort into this. To ignore that. These are the exits. That's not where I want to go. It's difficult to find these things. But I believe, if I remember correctly, one of them is through here. Here we go. Secret hole. Secret hole. Range master. Have a security card ready. That includes you, Captain. So yeah, there's a shooting range down here, which is cool. And then you got like all sorts of random gubbins and stuff that they've hidden away in these little secret rooms. Just random blocks put together. There's clearly like kind of, okay, we got a lot of space in this ship that we need to fill, so let's do something. Experimental weapon or something, wasn't it? You got like an experimental weapon or something in here. Was kind of the idea. It was quite funny. It was good. Had a lot of space to play with, so they were just like, we gotta come up with something. Let's come up with something. There we go. So there's that one, and then if we go around to the other side, the blue side, it's also got one, I think, through here. And we got like a secret lounge with much purpling. Sets the lighting in here. Normal lighting. Bow chicka wow wow lighting. Bow chicka wow wow. And then IWC. And then the disco. And there goes all the frame rates. Wasn't there a moist tag in this ship? No, that was another one. That was another ship. ASC is sus because they haven't been sus in a few seasons. That is actually quite sus. That's a very good point. There we go. Vigilance. Fantastic effort. Thank you very much to the IWC. What a boat. What a ship. Okay, we're going to move on because we kind of have to. Next up is the Abolition. The Abolition. This is by Maverick J. Yeah, it looks familiar, doesn't it? What Maverick has done here is he's taken a Tavira class Dreadnought and then he's just strapped some extra bits to it, and then he strapped some more, and then he decided to strap a bit more with some guns, and then once he added the guns, he then attached a ship to it. This is some... Yeah, you can see why it's called Abolition, because it's an abomination of machines blended together for the sole purpose of ending things. Although there is only one champion for that, really. This thing... I don't know, I've got my flashlight on, and I can't really see it at the moment, so I apologise. It's super dark and difficult to see. I'm doing my best. But as you can see, it is extensive. What he has done to the Tavira class Dreadnought is extensive. Not only has he made the Tavira into a player spawnable ship, he has attached all manner of ludicrous to it. Although I do wish that what he did with these, instead of missile turrets here, he put beam lasers here, because they can actually fire directly forward, I believe. I think those rockets would have a little bit of trouble with that. Other than that, this is a monster. I would have just liked to see the look on a Tavira class Dreadnaught's face when one of these comes along. And you're just like, my god, what have you done? It's got a lot of guns. It's difficult to really kind of take in the entire thing. It's a lot going on. It really is. It's like the Creel got hold of a Tavira and just went, hold my beer. Look at the weaponry. Yeah, it's got a few guns. This is the Tavira's final form. He looks like a Creel ship rammed a Tavira. Yeah, right? It's this little carapace kind of looking thing at the back here. It looks so Creel. It looks so Creel. Let's have a little look inside then. Purple lights, very Creel. In fact, I think this is a Creel thing. Look at this. This just spells J Randall. The texturing, the layout. This is a J Randall merged with a Vermilion. Oh god, oh no! Oh, what did I just say? Well, they don't work. It is, exactly, that's what's happened, isn't it? He's taken a Creel build and he just rammed it into the back of a Tavira class Dreadnought and then added some extra bits around it. I mean, I say just, that's still a fairly serious undertaking, that is. Wow. I wish there was some lights. I can see what I'm looking at. Okay. If anybody can name the Creel build that this was, then kudos. There's a grav. Oh my lord, it's a bloody maze. I don't know where I am. where I'm going. Oh, hey, we're in an elevator. We're in an elevator now. Where the hell am I? I was here before. Okay. Oh, there's a socking great big freaking garden on this thing, is there? Okay, that happened. So that's a thing. Wow. There's some medical. Oh, there's a bridge all the way back here. Wow. Who made this? I hope the Kelvare consented. So imagine that thing is so massive that it's crashing Twitch. What madness is this? Oh no. Not Twitch. When did the Borg assimilate the Xerax? It looks like that, isn't it? Firing that will crash the server. There is no way this Kelvare consented. There's the core. Found it. Right. So, bridge. And that is that the pink elevator? Okay, you have the pink elevator that we can see right from the Hangar Bay front there. Oh boy. That goes straight to the bridge. Fine. Good. Good. And then... Oh my lord. Oh. We've got some comfy quarters. This looks like it was the bridge of the Creel ship. Right? Well, it used to be the bridge of the Creel ship. That can't be it, really. Yep. I think so. Maybe. Maybe not. What? This is just like fall out of here and go, oh! It's another bridge! How many bridges has this thing got? There's that. How the hell did we get here legitimately? Oh, straight from the Hangar Bay, look. Straight here. Oh, wow. Can you imagine if a Borg cube came upon this thing in a playfield? We are the Borg. Resistance is entirely okay. We should be leaving now. Yeah, that would be funny. Except the Borg never even said that even when Species 8472 was kicking their ass. Stubborn bastards. All empty space from here forwards. Decoy area. Decoy area? This is the Kelvare. You can tell how like the architecture suddenly changes. The architecture goes from J. Randall Creel here to... I don't know whose architecture this is. Vermilion Xerax, apart from the pink. The pink is part of the copy and paste process. What's happened here is Vermilion had a custom color palette for the Kelvare. Now when you copy and paste something, that custom color palette is eliminated. And if he's replaced the pink color on his multi color thing with something else, then resaying that brings it back. Alright, where do we go? I mean, if everything's empty from here on in... okay. This does not look like a Kelvare. Maybe I've got to go down. That does. It definitely looks like a Kelvare. I think he's just emptied it all. So that will save on some resources, I suppose. Here we go. This is what I expected to see. Yeah, there you go. That's the Kelvare. That's more like it. There is still stuff here though. Then you got generators and you got actual storage then, so it's not all empty. Henceforth. This is a Kelvare's bridge originally. The core on a Kelvare is like right here usually, or there. That's where it would be. So there we go. Thing's nuts. Oh boy. Turret count then? Let's have a little look-see, shall we? Oh boy. 14.5 million CPU to start us off. 13.7 million out of 14.5. Phew, size class 34. Biggest size class so far, I think. Bar one. 17 meters a second forward, 6 backwards, 5 left and right. And the 8-degree roll, 13 lift, 12 down, 5-degree yaw. 5-degree yaw and a 4-degree pitch. 2,150 meganewtons of thrust. Does it fly? Barely. It does have a fair old amount of lifty thrust, but those acceleration values are incredibly low. So yeah, it will fly. Just about. It will fly. Devices. Turrets. Well, let's do an auto group. Turrets! 30. 168. So basically 200, because you've got 168, 30 turrets there. Maybe there's another group. I'm just checking now. Defense. Shield. That's it. Yeah, 200 turrets rounded up. Bunch of advanced laser cannons and artillery cannons as well. 200 guns. Core systems, 71. About sort of 60 quantum CPUs. Thereabouts. 17 forward. She'll creep along like a little snail. A menacing snail of menacinginess. Being all like dun 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 dun. Hey you! Stop it! Sorry. Don't take it in atmosphere. Stuck on a 1G planet. Can 17 meters a second of thrust even get up to the speed of warp? Yeah, that'll get up to 50 meters a second. I think it is to get up to warp speed. 70 a second. It'll probably get up to about, I don't know, 90 meters a second, maybe. Eventually. Well, we can find out if you like. There's like 14 bridges on this thing, so it wouldn't take a lot to find one. There we go. 100 meters a second. Oh no, the top speed is 58 meters a second. But you can boost it up to 75 meters a second. There you go. Easily get up to warp speed on that thing. Reverse! Reverse at 30 meters a second. See, it's fine. Not a big deal at all. And it rolls like a fighter. Oh man. It's a heavy, heavy beast. Alright, the Abolition. Maverick J, thank you very much, sir. The Abolition. And of course, thank you to J Randall and Vermilion for the original builds in there as well. Oh my lord. What a monster. A literal monster. More generators and fuel tanks than those wings, basically. Okay, so finally then, ladies and gentlemen, the Kildabay class cruiser. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It flies like it looks, yeah. Think won't ever land. Load the guns and try again. Good point. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll leave it for this time, maybe, yeah? Span should know by now that every time he says it'll be fine, that poop happens. I can foresee him losing ships, even in creative, when he says that. Accidentally DI destroy. Okay, so the Kildabay class cruiser. This was built by Kira Yamato. Thank you very much, Kira, for this build. This was actually a late entry because I closed the entries early by accident. And then he messaged me going, dude, what the hell? Long live Tybazan. Yep. So the Kildabay is based off the Kildabay cruiser from Forces of Corruption, Empire at War, Star Wars game. Kildabay? Kel? Well, I would say it's Kel because it's K-E-L. Kildabay. Keldabe. Reminds me of the Dread Gun. Oh, Mandalore! Yeah, I love that game. Empire at War is one of my favorite all-time Star Wars games. It's still really so good even today. And the modding community for it is just awesome. So, yeah, the Zan Consortium, one of their main cruisers was the Kildabay here. And this is modelled on that. It's quite interesting to try and model a ship off of that thing. It's really difficult to actually get the sense of dimensions from the game of this ship, but Kira's done a reasonable approximation here. So actually quite a small ship. I think it's one of the smaller ships on the Dreadnought class here. So it actually looks more like a battleship to me than a Dreadnought at this point. But who am I to say what it is? It's quite an interesting shape. Definitely an interesting shape. Funny place to put an artillery cannon there as well, facing backwards. Lots of Xeno here, I can tell, because you've got the circuitry kind of texture going on here. Just double check that is combat steel. Never mind. Why would you use that texture if you're using combat steel? Whatever. Clearly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've got a lot of guns here. Basically, the forward ones look like projectile 15mm cannon, and then they progressively get more expensive the further they go back. Missiles, lasers, and then artilleries, and more artilleries and missiles and stuff like that. I think, considering the size of the vessel, it's probably going to have the lowest turret count of the lot. 5.7 million CPU. So I think this is turrets 25 plus 29 space only. So you're looking at 54. This is another category I'm missing. No, it looks like it. 54 turrets. Definitely think this is in the category of battleship, I'm afraid. It has a 40k feel to it. I suppose it does. It has quite a vertical kind of tall look to it, doesn't it? The Warhammer style of bridge and stuff. Definitely. I think what expensive turrets here. Remove the LCD. There you go. So he has actually left room for extra turrets and stuff. It's a Dreadnought in progress. Couple of extra turret upgrade spots. Nice big under Hangar Bay. That is... Oh, there is an elevator over here, look. Yeah, all the quantums and stuff, speaking of which. Not many, by the look of it. 27. 2, 4... Oh god, I lost count already. 2, 4, 6... 18 quantums. Definitely, I would say the lightest of the ships that we're seeing in this category. Warp drive, pretty basic in here. Couple of glowy pipes, but otherwise not really much in the way of texturing going on. Or lighting. Let's go up. Storage. Ammo controllers. 2 ammo controllers and a freezer. What you got? And like a really big ramp. Oh, you got a bit of a garden here as well. And then the bridge. Pretty basic, really. Full medical, though. And then a top hatch access there. That's it. The rest of that is all armor and engines, I guess. Combat steel construction. I'll be honest, I don't think it will last long. I don't think it will last long. My money's on the Tavira with that one. Okay. So, stats-wise, definitely the cheapest. Size class 6. Materials-wise, cost of a sort of average CV, but they'll give you 12,000 Erestrum Zirconium, 61,000 iron. It's those 18 quantums that kind of hurt. Kind of hurt, really. Yeah. 36 meters a second forward, 36 meters a second backwards, 45 left and right, 36 up, 36 down. Very even thrust profile. 42 roll, 27 yaw, 16 pitch. 940 meganewtons of lift. Light! It's like a little pocket battleship. The thing is, that ship there, like that, I would want something with that kind of firepower within 2.1 million. I don't know. Probably possible. If it's just me, but 18 quantum seems quite expensive for that ship. I don't know. Seems a bit weird. Still, nice boat, unique shape. I like it. Lots of thrusty, and practical and to the point. Its effectiveness, however, is questionable. But thank you, regardless, Kira Yamato, for the build. The Kildabay class cruiser. People who have never played Reforged may not get how much harder it is. I have been beaten multiple Taveras on hard mode in vanilla. I have a hard time taking on Imrats and Alperiats right now. Yeah. How many quantums did your ship need? Like 63. 63. So it's definitely the cheapest, lightest of the lot. By quite some ways. Now, of course, we all know that the Ender was the winning vote on this category. But which one would I have chosen? And it had been up to me. This thing is just levels of redonkulousness. Oh my lord. I would have chosen mine! Because it's mine! You want to run with my ship? I know, there's the Ares class speaks to me, it really does. It really speaks to me. It's a beautiful, beautiful build. But then, honestly, how could I not choose the Vigilance? How could I not? What a beast! What a beautiful beast! What is going on in here? Ah, look, cheeky. Yeah. Just the just the fact that IWC put this together for me in such a fantastic way. It is such a monster of a ship with so much more potential than what it's got at the moment. Look how much surface area it's got that it's not using for turrets at the moment. You can just keep adding quantums into this thing and adding more and more guns to it. So it's without a shadow of a doubt that I would have chosen the Vigilance. I really would have. Because as much as I would like to go with my Valkyrie, so I've never used it in anger really. As much as I would have liked to go for that, it wouldn't have been proper. The Soul Crusher wouldn't have appealed to me just because it's the spinny type of ship, although it's very effective. The Ares class comes a close second because it's a beautiful, beautiful boat. It really speaks to me and the kind of whole roleplay element that it has to it. Valkyrie I've already mentioned. The Vigilance is just, well, come on. It's an absolute monster. The Abolition is just that. It's an Abolition. And I think the Kildabay is just a little too light to be regarded as a Dreadnought. And then the Ender, well, as fantastically monstrous as that is, it doesn't work. It shuts your game down. So, sorry, Moobear. It would have been the Vigilance. Or the Ares. For the Vigilance, definitely. 100%. Maneuverability, survivability are pretty. Choose two. Yeah, exactly. The Ender is basically a colossal butt plug that plugged up two Taveras and the game itself. Oh dear. The Empyrion isn't ready for the Ender, but our kids are gonna love it. Oh dear. Yes, exactly right. Oh boy, you're exactly right. And there we go. That brings us to the end of all the builds that were built and submitted and voted on by the community. What an epic turnout. What an incredible effort by all the builders. I do want to say thank you once again to all the builders who put together these incredible machines. And a big thanks, of course, to my patrons and Twitch subs, YouTube channel members, for casting the all-important votes as well. But the real heroes here are definitely the builders. Put these machines together. They're an incredible effort done by all. Just to give you an idea, I have littered the space in my creative game with all these things. Let's not forget the epic category that took us, I think, 3 hours alone to go through of the mid-game CV category. Oh my lord. They're still loading in even now. They just go on and on and on. They just keep on going. They're still going. So many builds. So many incredible builds. So, yeah, thank you everybody. What a great time that was. I enjoyed that series right up to the end. It was good. A couple of thank yous then. Here we go. Cookie Monster and Andrew, thank you very much for the follow. Captain Max Fox, thank you very much for the resub. 2 months. Damn, time passes fast. Yes, it does, sir. Yes, it does. Zapan, thanks for the follow. Head Voices, thank you very much for the resub as well. 5 months. Awesome, dude. Appreciate you. Red Run, thanks for the follow, dude. WCTPT Torum. Wiktpatorum. Dude, thank you very much for the sub. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Ed Zaki, thanks for the follow as well. Ironballs McGinty, thank you very much for the £5 tip. That was a minute ago. 5 bones for you to put the Vigilance against your Dreadnought in deadly combats. We deserves it. I'll have to recruit a friend. That'll be interesting. That'll be a good one. Thomas Weil, thank you very much. Miss Fun, thank you very much for the sub as well. Awesome stuff, guys. Thank you. Welcome along. Right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the series of little streamy streams. I'm going to have a little think now because I have a sort of... I have an idea. I'm looking at rescheduling my stream schedule a little bit to sort of keep my flexibility open on the weekends a little bit more. I'm thinking about moving my Saturday chilling and buildings to this slot here on Wednesdays. Just so I can have my my whole weekends kind of available for content, YouTube content creation, and just family time, you know, and stuff like that. So that way I'll be having a stream on Monday, Wednesday, and then Friday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be stream nights, and then I'd have Saturday and Sunday off. you know, of the streaming at least. But then I could work on content those days. So I'm thinking about doing that. So I hope that's okay with you guys and you're happy with that. Which does mean that I won't be around necessarily on the weekends for live stuff, really. But there's still the possibility that every now and again, if I got a free Saturday night and I'm not doing anything, that I can maybe get some guys together and do something random. That's always a possibility as well. But that's what I'm thinking of doing. Just a little reshuffle of my schedule there. Chilling the building from Saturdays to Wednesday evenings. Just like this stream here. But I'll do a proper little announcy thingy. Slower content is fine. You stay fresh and frosty and don't burn out. I'm all good. I'm not in any danger of doing that, I don't think. The only thing I'm struggling with at the moment is getting blighted to play Valheim with me, the bastard. It's like he works until 8:30 p.m. my time most days, and then the only days that he's like available, it would be Fridays because he has Fridays off most of the time, and Saturdays because he has Saturdays off most of the time. But whenever I try and contact him on Friday and Saturday, he never freaking responds until we're starting a stream. And then it's like, great, we've got like 20 minutes we can record something. They're not going to do anything in that time. That's the only thing I'm really struggling with at the moment, is pinning Blighted to the bloody floor so I can play Valheim with him and get some Valheim done. Still, when we can play Valheim, I just love that game to pieces. I know it's not the most popular content, it's been played to death. I don't really care at this point. I'm really enjoying the game and just re-exploring Valheim. We're absolutely just taking our time and just enjoying it. So, yeah, if you want to watch, great. If you don't, no problem. Don't worry about it. Ivorian will be there as well for you guys, so not to worry. But Ivorian is an absolute beast to try and get content done for it. Bloody hell. You could spend hours just doing fiddly little bits so that you can then do something significant for an episode. It takes a lot of time. Sack him and get a replacement. Yeah, Johnny, yeah, absolutely right, dude. So yeah, that's the only thing I was really being a little bit of a bother right now. And then, of course, I'll just take that out on Blighted. Don't worry about it. It'll be all good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. I'm looking at the chats right now. Really, really great messages. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. It's good to see. It's good to hear. I know you guys, you got my back. You've always had my back, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much, all of you. Awesome stuff. You two nattering away like old married couple with the beasties stomping on your faces is the best part of your Valheim episodes. We just argue all the time. This is like, or it's just Blighted story time. When I'm editing Valheim videos, right, I'm editing out quite a lot of nonsensical, meandering, pondering nonsense from Blighted. I don't know if I should include it sometime, just to give you guys an idea of what it's like. Because he struggles when he's doing something and he's trying to talk at the same time. He really struggles to get words out, so he's just there going, you know, what's it called? You know, the, iron. We need to, and it's like, iron. You struggle to think of the word iron or something really simple. Okay, carry on. Yeah. You know, when we gotta, you know, smelt, cook the iron, make it, and then we get all the recipes. Yes, Blighted, you gotta cook the iron to get the recipes. You can't just pick up the raw iron and get the recipes. That's not how it works. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right, that took you 3 hours. And I'm just like, in the editor's guide, my God, man, spit it out. Oh, bless him. I love him to bits. He's a hell of a guy. But he's a bloody nightmare to edit around. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I do hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much, as always, once again to the builders for this series. It's been so awesome. And thank you guys for joining me on these little streams. I hope you enjoyed. I will be back live Friday where I believe Johnny, Laney, Blighted, and myself are playing Night of the Dead? Is that what it's called? Night of the Dead. I think that's what Laney's chosen. Johnny, have I got it right? Night of the Dead. Yeah, I think that's the one. With the whammon on the front. Yeah, we're playing Night of the Dead. Because it's a survival-y zombie one, isn't it? So, it'll be interesting. It should be fun. Yeah, Night of the Dead. That's the one. Cool, I got it right. We'll be playing that on Friday night. I hope you guys join us for that. It should be interesting. You never know what's going to happen on Friday nights, game nights. You really don't. And that's kind of the fun of the chaos. So I'll be back then with the gang from about 8:30 or so. Hopefully I'll see you guys then. But that is going to be all from me tonight. Thank you very much once again, ladies and gents, for being with me. Thank you again to all the subs, the resubs, the follows, the bits, and the very, very kind donations, and all the things in between. It is greatly appreciated, as always. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for keeping me company tonight. And I will see you soon. Until then, take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, be well. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Good night. Bye-bye.